To niezłe. Takie zo jak na tym evencie.
Lisa, I love some of the animal shenanigans here. I mean, hippos cooing, adorable baby elements. It's absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to play it. But before we saw the trailer, Liz mentioned this is a modern zoo, but what exactly does that mean?
So nowadays when you go to the zoo, you're not just going to see all the lovely, pretty animals. You go there, you want to be, you know, learning about conservation, you want to learn about the research that they're doing, you want to be educated. And these are all things that you're going to be able to do in Planet Zoo. And these ideas of the modern zoo is really what we take to heart, and we're going to be promoting, you know, the health and the welfare of your animals as the most important thing to do.
And Piers, when can we see more gameplay, and when are we going to be able to get our hands on it ourselves?
So we're obviously demoing the game all this week at E3, but most people aren't able to see that. So we've recorded a presentation. Lisa's done a fantastic voiceover for it, and we'll be releasing that onto Frontier's YouTube channel. That goes live this Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time.
Fantastic. I cannot wait to watch. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's Anita, everyone. Next up, we have a very special guest all the way from Japan.
Please welcome to the stage, gaming industry legend and Shenmue creator, Yu Suzuki.
That is right. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the stage is a legend of Japanese game development, it's Mr. Yu Suzuki.
Hello, everyone.
In addition to being the brains behind the following games, Hang On, Space Harrier, Outrun, Afterburner, Virtual Racing, and Virtual Fighter, Yusan also created the Shenmue series. And he's here to talk about Shenmue 3 right now. Take it away, Yusan.
この場に立てて光栄です。Standing on the stage today. それと20年支えてくれたファンの皆さん、ありがとう。I just want to say thank you to the all the fans supporting me for the long 20 years. Thank you very much. Wait. The wait is nearly over.
That's right. Let's take a world exclusive look at Shenmue 3.
Honestly, I don't think your kung fu is strong enough.
Grandmaster,
A long time ago, martial arts were bad, but humans are interesting creatures. They practiced in secret, away from prying eyes, and became stronger. One even practiced atop this very boat. None Tren survived the ban and was passed on in this way.
What did you say to me?
stop it. They threaten and extort money from the shop owners, get drunk by noon and cause trouble. Everyone in town is afraid of them. They are heartless. Hey, wait right there! Okay.
This is him, the Japanese guy who got in our way.
You've got some guts to barge in here on your own.
I know so many people have been waiting for Shenmue 3. I would like to once again thank you so much. Thank you, Yusan, for joining us today. Cheers.
Everyone. Thank you.
Now our next title is near and dear to my childhood heart. It's based upon a game I grew up playing called Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Let's take a look at an upcoming collaboration between Coffee Stain Studios and Lava Potion.
Ale dobra grafika. Czemu ciągle pokazywać pikselowe gry? Przecież to jest bez sensu. To jest PC gaming, a nie konsol gaming.
The name of the game is Songs of Conquest, and here to join me in talking about it is the lead designer from Lava Potion, Carl Topfeld. Hey, Carl.
Hi, hey, thanks.
I mean, let's just start off. Anyone who maybe hasn't played the Heroes of Might and Magic series, what is Song of Conquest all about?
It's all about, well, you kind of start out with in the town that you just saw in the trailer, and from there you recruit your wielders, it's what we call our commanders, and you recruit an army, and then you kind of send off your wielders on an adventure. They go exploring the world, they pick up resources, flag mines, and with those resources, you upgrade your town so you can get more stuff, and that's what you do. Adventure and strategy combined.
Yeah, and, you know, I know that part of the core loop is obviously get the resources to build up the township, but for what reason? Armies, man. Talk to me about those juicy battles.
Yeah, so the battle, just like the whole game, is turn-based. So you go into combat, you bring all your troops in, and you start by deploying them, and then all the troops have different stats, like offense and defense and health. Sure. They go in initiative order, and then you slug it out, and it's a bit like chess, but instead of like pawns and bishops, you have like horned wands and face springs.
Great. And griffins and so on.
Yeah, and all those things.
And, well, you know, as someone who just loves the Heroes of Might and Magic series, I know that you have translated a lot of the gameplay elements into Songs of Conquest, but what are some of the modern elements that you're bringing in?
Well, there's a lot of it, but I mean, one of them is our magic system. We call it the essence. So basically, in the Songs of Conquest universe, everything has an essence within them. So your troops, they have an essence. And to do magic, you need to bring the troops with the right essence, with your wielders.
Oh, I see.
So if you want to like make your troops go faster, you need to bring a troop that has that essence. Like cavalry.
And maybe to ask a basic question, what if my opponent kills that cavalry?
Then you can't do the magic. So,
oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're fighting someone, you kind of have to like weigh the pros and cons of what to kill off. If you want to destroy their magic or their powerful troops.
Where can people go to get more information? And as always, when's it coming out?
Late 2020.
Oh, it's quite a ways off.
It's quite a ways off, but you can go to songsofconquest.com and sign up for alpha, and then you can play earlier.
Well, as you know, I'm really looking forward to playing it, Carl. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, our next title is an update to a popular co-op game. Let's see what's in store for Vermintide 2.
You just saw the reveal of the new PvP mode coming to Vermintide 2, which turns the Warhammer Fantasy Cooperative game into something even more brutally competitive. It looks deliciously vile, and surely dismembering Skaven is so much more satisfying when you know you're going ham on a fellow player, making him or her cry naturally behind their computer screen. You can sign up now for the Vermintide 2 versus the
Robert jest czy nie?
In Per Astra, you're an artificial consciousness orbiting Mars, whose ultimate purpose is to terraform the planet, starting from a single drone in your landing site and turning the planet into a flourishing second home for humanity. Courtesy of developer to Lawn Industries and publisher Wolfskin, here's a first ever look at Per Astra.
As we all know, reaching the Red Planet is not humanity's greatest achievement. Transferring the complexity of the human mind to machines was, so they can succeed where we failed. So they can build us a home on that distant, dusty rock. Today, Amy reaches Mars and begins their mission. Amy, are you with us?
Of course, I'm with you, Houston.
Coś mi ominęło?
Nie, Resident Sleeper, totalnie.
Ty, Piotr, oglądasz czy ty grasz?
Ja oglądam Resident Sleeper, w ogóle to jest, nie da się tego oglądać, jakieś pikselowate gry co chwilę pokazują. Masakra.
No co to za szajs leci? Gdzie jest Call of
Nie
Duty?
wiem, nic tu nie ma. Guby. Takiego Resident Sleeper nigdy nie widziałem. Wszyscy ciągle wysyłają właśnie Resident Sleeper. Co chwilę ktoś wysyła. Jest fala Residentów Sleeperów. Fala Resident Sleeper leci na czacie co chwilę. Jest chyba najwybitniejsze, ja to wyłączam, bo się nie chcę tego oglądać.
Na naszym czacie?
Co?
Co to pokazuje?
Nie wiem, jakąś grę przed chwilą pokazywali chyba strategii. Ciągle jakieś indiki pokazują.
Fuck Epic.
No, to jest sponsorem tego i Epic.
Because we built Africa 10 million years ago. And that's not easy to build.
It doesn't sound easy. I mean, how have you turned those themes into gameplay?
Well, you play our last common ancestor, right, of all the big apes, and then you have to explore your environment, and eventually you expand your territory, you expand your clan, because you're not playing that one badass character. You play a group of badass characters. And eventually you evolve into different species, up until Lucy the Australopithecus was roughly 2 million.
I imagine our ancestors had a lot more issues to deal with than we do today. There's going to be a lot more dangers in this world, so tell me a bit more about this.
Well, it's all about from a prey to a predator. Basically, at the beginning of the game, everybody is there to kill you and devour you. And basically at the end, it's pretty much you. You're the predator and everybody's afraid of you. And that's the idea of Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey.
So, Patrice, ultimately, what is the key to evolving your clan successfully?
Curiosity, you need to explore, because
Jest tak duszno, że
I made a
jak
game
świnia.
about characters and you needed to follow the story I wrote for you. This time, you're basically writing the story. Right? There's no story per se inside. It's not about going and see mission givers. It's not about looking at the mini-maps and the little dots. It's about you, hey, Homo sapiens. Can you survive like our ancestors did? And that's the question I'm asking the players. It'll be for you to answer that question August 27th.
Well, I was
on
actually,
PC first.
I was going to ask you when we can see it, and you answered my question first. Thank you so much,
Getting
Patrice.
good at it.
As Patrice said,
Ludzie nie
Ancestors
będą,
will be
będzie
released
można w
August
łapki
27th,
pograć.
and you can learn more at ancestorsgames.com.
Hashtag 1, hashtag B, hashtag C, hashtag...
trwało i to jest najgorsza godzina.
Dobra, jestem. Co teraz ma streama?
Już koniec jest, bo prezentują wszystkie gry.
Okej.
A będzie Ubisoft o której?
Ubisoft o 22, ale co teraz będzie miało ogólnie?
Nic nie będzie miało.
Aha.
Teraz jakąś kolejny. Teraz jakąś japońską grę prezentują. To jest turowa gra jeszcze. Jeszcze World Premiere, to nie jest World Premiere. Najgorsze podczas E3.
No to już jej miało lepsze.
To już jej było ciekawsze, przynajmniej z czegoś była. No Resident i Sleepery przez cały czas leciałem. No nie, coś jeszcze będzie, bo... Po co mi pokazywali wszystkie gry?
Żółtek jakiś.
No co tu, to jest tak pogmatwane wszystko.
Holoczy jak przecinki ma.
Today on this stage to introduce our game, Auto Chess, to all you. This is really an exciting moment for us. And so Twitter says, this is a real engaging game of Auto Chess. Dragonstone now is working with the creator of Auto Chess.
Dobra, fajny kurwa krzywy masz angielski, trollu.
We are working together to bring Auto Chess to a world, both on PC and mobile, so that everyone from anywhere with any device can enjoy the same fun of Auto Chess. Now we are building the PC version with by using the game engine of Unreal Engine 4. As everyone knows, Unreal Engine is one of the best game engines of the world. With the help of Epic Games and by the power of Unreal, I believe we can finish our job quickly and efficiently. And today, I'm very glad to announce the PC version of Auto Chess will be coming to the Epic Games Store. I look forward to all of you playing Auto Chess on PC later this year. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you, Loring Lee.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Thanks so much for sharing the news with us. Once again, Auto Chess, if you have not played it, you must check it out. It is so fun. Our next title with Frankie up above, I understand is an inspired indie game.
We'll find out, Sean, because one of the things we love about PC gaming is the way that game creators can
Ja czekam na Nintendo,
draw inspiration from one another's work.
To jutro.
Crystals is a great
Wiem
example
właśnie.
of that. A gorgeous indie love letter to classic.
Tylko te PC gaming szybków nic nie prezentują ciekawe.
Spin on the genre brings a unique perspective that lets you see the past,
Nie no,
present,
szczerze
and
taki
future
Resident
on one
Sleeper
screen at the
był.
same time. So you'll see the future change based on your decisions in real time. Here's the world exclusive
To więcej
reveal
mówić, no.
of Crystals.
I'm discuss of this fucking comparison. Czekaj, 10. Limited Run Games następne.
World Exclusive. O Boże, znowu nie. Classic RPG w RPG Maker. Yeah. Dlaczego?
PC Gaming Show jest Limited Run Games.
Nie, czemu same indyki prezentują? Co to ma być? Przecież to jest... Ja pierdzielę.
Takie kurwa...
Nie wiem, powinny być gry największych tych producentów, a nie jakieś indyki.
Jakieś kurwa kapsle.
Bez kitu ja na przykład nie zagram.
In PC gaming,
Które nic nie
it's not
wnoszą
the size
szczerze.
of your weapon, it's how you use it. And I'm holding one of the, well quite frankly, it's a bit average, isn't it? It's just your average, you know, Glock, really. No, It's one of the ridiculous alien weapons from our next game, Valkyrie. A brutal, heavy metal-infused TV platformer inspired by true old-school classics like Contra.
Yes.
Assuming the role of fearless warrior fairies, players must blast and slash their way through the doomed citadel of Valkyrie, overcoming its deadly environments and enemies before challenging the arcane evil at its very heart. Get ready to rip the galaxy a new wormhole from publisher Big Sugar. This is Valkyrie.
To jest naprawdę dziwne coś. Wytwór szatana. Pisarz, skurwysyna na diabła.
Co?
Co to kurwa jest?
Też się zastanawiam. Adedum.
Adedum. Adedum.
O, w końcu coś ciekawego. To dla mnie, ja lubię takie gry rozwałki.
Jedna gra na kurwa konferencję.
Na to wygląda. I jeszcze Cheerler. O, tak się czyta. Więc ja na to czekam jeszcze. I to jest dopiero granie jakieś grupa wcześniejsza.
I'm very excited for our next guest. In case you have not been in downtown LA, E3 is covered with Borderlands 3 art. It's amazing, it's beautiful. And joining me is the amazing and beautiful Paul Sage, creative director of Borderlands 3. Beautiful's the new one, thanks. Yeah, there you go, Paul. Welcome. I mean, there's been so much hype around Borderlands 3. What's the stuff you're really excited to be sharing this year at E3?
Oh man, so you know we've talked about our vault hunters. Well, this time we get to talk about Moze, and she is our gunner vault hunter. So she has a big mix. All about loot. We're talking about the different loot such as shields, grenades, those things going to different planets. So a lot of stuff to talk about.
Well, I mean, I want to start right off with Moze. Tell us everything you know about her.
Okay, yes, I'll tell you everything I can. So Moze, again, like I said, she's a mech pilot. She has this big mech. It's called Iron Bear. She gets into Iron Bear. You know, we have multiple action skills, which means that she can equip either a minigun or a railgun or a flamethrower.
Mój kolega nie wiedział, co to jest.
Yeah, Moze is a terrifically fun character for us right now.
Now, we've been excited to be collating a whole bunch of community questions. We're going to break them into two categories. First, there's a whole bunch of repeat questions that I want to make sure we get to right now. One of the big categories is about loot, because you've mentioned having a billion guns earlier, but what can you tell us about some of the other gear, the other progression systems in the game?
Yeah, so let's talk about grenades, like one of my favorite things that we don't get to talk about a lot. So in the past we've had grenades, they've had like one thing they can bounce, they can stick to different things, you know. This time we're combining like all of those things. So for instance, the other day I was playing and I threw a grenade and that grenade had a bounce, it would stick, an explosion would come out, and the grenade would fire guns as it was going through, right? So we have like a ton of different grenades that are in there.
A matma, który jest?
10 coś, o 11 się kończy.
With our characters, class mods are unique, and that they give you skills this time as well as enhancing the skills you currently have.
I also remember earlier you mentioned about artifacts. What are those?
So artifacts are, we've kind of
been
on like, hey, the game feels good. Can I just slide into things? Can I jump? Can I mantle? Right.
Czekaj, to ja mogę kogoś jeszcze ogarnąć.
Można to na dolu pójść.
So why don't we do something like that? So our artifacts actually so for instance, you can slide.
Nie, on nie pójdzie
every time you slide, there's an explosion. We have something.
Nie, on już wrócił.
Second category of questions unrelated to category of questions unrelated to loot. Well,
czekaj, może coś się spagowało na tym, że nie mogę pisać do niego na PC.
What are some of the beyond the single player, maybe end game content that you can talk about?
All right, in-game content. Okay, well, it's E3, so I give a little bit. So we have this thing what we call the Guardian system. So for those people who play Borderlands before, you might remember Badass Ranks. Badass Ranks, you can get, it's basically kind of an infinite progression system that added to your stats.
Yeah.
We doubled down on what we call Guardian Rank. And Guardian Rank not only has that infinite progression, but it has skills and different skins that you can open up as you go through. And the cool thing about that is like every character that you play on that account gets the benefits of Guardian Rank.
All right, last category we're going to go through, and then we're going to hit some rapid-fire questions. How do the boss fights in Borderlands 3 compare to Borderlands 1 and 2? I know those were big aspects. How do you build upon that?
Right, so I think of a boss fight, you know, like I'm an old school Nintendo fan, right? So I love huge boss fights that have like 3 phases and stuff like that. So now those know that we've talked about going to vaults instead of vault, right? And so there are different, like, huge boss encounters there that are just, you know, multi-phase.
Ale mi się ścina coś ten stream. Wy też macie coś problemy?
Well, now I want to ask some really quick questions that should be yes
O
or no, very brief.
12:40
First from
kończę.
Castoray. How will you be handling multiplayer?
Multiplayer, we will basically be allowing anybody to jump in at any time. So.
Awesome. From MHL Animations, can I pet the gun? Great question.
I'm not here to judge what you do with your gun, so you know, that's a personal question.
All right, great. Sam Wiseman asks, is Maya's new companion a siren?
People are asking the right questions. That's what I will say about that. Sorry.
All right, from Ironic Sanguine says, is Tiny Tina going to be seen fighting alongside the Vault Hunters?
Yes.
Nice. All right, I'm just going to blast through a couple more as fast as I possibly can. What's the level cap at launch?
50.
Will we get to see Flak?
Yes.
Will we see golden keys and/or shift codes for Borderlands 3?
Absolutely.
Will there be duels?
Yes.
Other kinds
Czekaj,
of
ja
PvP?
zobaczę, o której mat ma.
Yes and no.
And also maybe. Perfect. And will you be able to transfer weapons between your characters?
Absolutely, right from the start.
Perfect. And when is the damn game coming out?
Friday the 13th, 2019, September 13th.
Perfect.
Matematyka jest 10:45, o 11:30 wychodzimy.
And once again, if you have not seen all the setups in downtown for Borderlands 3, oh, they're beautiful. Our next game, we're going to be revisiting a guest that we saw earlier in the show. He's upstairs with Frankie. What you got for us?
Matematyka. Już nie masz okienko, bo religia
Oh, hi, we're live. Sorry. Hello, I was just, I was actually testing out my outfit this weekend. I don't know, what do you think, John?
I think you look really sharp, as always.
Very sharp. Well, thank you
Za
very
co ona
much,
się
John
przebrała?
Gibson,
What the fuck?
Thank you for joining us again on the show. Very busy man,
Yes.
Now, last year, we revealed Man-Eater to the world. And can you remind anyone who missed it what the game's all about?
Absolutely. Man-Eater is an open-world action RPG, or RPG as we call it. You start as a small baby shark pup, and you have to survive in this harsh world and try to eat your way to the top of the ecosystem. The 3 words we think sum the game up the best are eat, explore, and evolve. And we also have someone we'd like you to meet.
Well, let's meet him then. Let's take a look at the new trailer.
Co oni teraz mam prezentować?
No co to? Tu jest jakiś kurwa. Ja pierdolę.
Każe się turowa gra. To jest... co to jest?
Co w ogóle kurwa jest, ty?
Właśnie nie wiem.
Przygłajem.
Kurwa. Jaki jeszcze nagle tak wjeżdża, kurwa? Skacze scenicznym delfin. Kurwa.
Coming closer with their camera, we two gonna
toss. Kurwa, co się dzieje?
Kill that snake.
Man-Eater. No kurwa.
O, że będziesz rakinem albo czymś będziesz wpierdalał
John,
No tak.
ludzi.
who was that appallingly dressed fisherman in the trailer? Because quite frankly, not even I would eat him.
That was Scaly Pete. And Scaly Pete's the villain in this tale. Pete is a best fisherman in the world, best shark fisherman. And he disfigures our baby shark at the beginning of the game and does some really nasty things, so he's not a very nice guy. And now the story of Man-Eater is told through the lens of a reality show called Shark Hunters vs. Man-Eaters. And it follows Pete and the player shark on its adventures. And you know, it's a really, you know, it's a very exciting way to tell the story.
And based on that trailer,
Co?
to be honest, on it. It's like
No rekin tańczył przed chwilą, kurwa.
Yeah, there is an awful lot of man-eating going on in this game. That is the name of the game. And but we like to think of the game as a shark-tastic fun action game. It's like GTA if you were a shark. But there's there is more to the game than just eating. So we spent a lot of time moving through the water, breaching out, and adding abilities to go up on the beach for an afternoon snack. There's a lot of exciting things that you can do in the game.
And you mentioned before it's a shark PG. How does that progression system work?
So there's three facets to the shark PG elements of the game. There's growth, there's life phases, and there's evolutions. So growth comes about through eating things, nutrients, people, whatever you can find. And that's kind of like your XP in the game. That allows you to level up, your shark will grow a little bit, you'll get more powerful. And then at key phases, we call life phases, you'll make a big jump. So let's say you're a brooding teenage shark and you're about to become an adult. When you become an adult, you take a big leap in size, a big leap in power, and capability. And then as you reach these life phases, you unlock evolutions that can be applied to parts of the shark's body. For example, you could get metallic teeth that allow you to shred boats, or a powerful tail that allows you to jump to incredible heights, or you could get mutated lungs that allow you to spend a little more time on the beach getting those afternoon snacks.
Just really quickly,
Na
John,
psychologach, albo kurwa psycholodzy mieli w wodogłowie i rozdwojenie
So
jaźni.
we're really hard hammerheading away at this game and trying to make it the most awesome shark RPG ever. We do not really know the date, but we're pretty certain you're going to see it before the next PC
Teraz w tej chwili w Stanach się rozbił kurwa samolot na śmigłowiec na Manhattanie w Nowym Jorku.
I'm quite hungry at the moment, so I think actually I'm going to find an audience member because you guys look tasty. So I'll see you in a bit. I'm just going to have a snack. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Kto się wpierdolił?
Śmigłowiec, budynek. Wpisz sobie na Google'ach Fox News.
Co? Co wpisać?
Fox News wpisz.
Nic nie ma na Fox News. Wejdę na główną stronę. O, Chopper Down, help present the New York City High Crest Prompting.
You know, one of the absolute best parts about being sponsored by iWin for the PC gaming show is that I get to sit for this.
O co chodzi? Co się stało?
About Terraria. Terraria is one of the best-selling PC games of all time, selling almost 30 million copies. Part of the reason why it's maintained such popularity is the fact that the developers Relogic continue to add content, going from 250 items at release to now over 4,000. Let's take a look at their expansion coming up, Terraria.
Na Alei 7 w Manhattanie.
Jaslandii. Kurwa. 7 aleja. Przepijebał kurwa w helikopter. O, Terraria!
No.
Ja pierdolę. Golin, Terrarię skrzeszają.
Jak to chcę to zobaczyć? A to jest to samo.
Pewnie remaster lekki.
No co to jest?
To jest Terraria.
No, ale co to jest?
Nie wiem. Zaraz się powiem.
Kurwa... Minecraft?
Jakiś creator pewnie. Creator mod mi się coś zdaje, że to...
Robert...
Co? Bo przerwało mnie.
Kreator. Kreatywny tryb mi się zdaje.
The next title that
Co
we're
to
going
za
to be
Terraria?
looking
Co
at
to jest?
is a game that is the spiritual successor
Ej,
to her
no,
story.
zacina się
It's
ten
called Telling
stream.
Lies by Annapurna Interactive, and joining me to talk about it
Ale nie widziałeś jak przeskoczyli od razu?
and actor-producer Logan Marshall Green. Welcome, gentlemen.
Ja to mura.
Wszyscy piszą, że to jest jakieś lagi są.
Now, if you haven't played her story,
Co się
you
dzieje?
totally should. It's fantastic. I want to note, it is a game where you want
The
live interactive video in order to uncover what happened with a murder. What is it that's going on in Telling Lies? What's the premise?
So, like her story, Telling Lies is a game in which you watch video footage to piece together a story. And this time we have a woman who has stolen an NSA hard drive.
Słuchaj, tak to jest taki Resident Sleeper, Boże. Czym ty się kurwa przejmujesz?
Something has gone terribly wrong, and it's up to you to figure out what and why.
To zobaczmy teraz, czy mamy latamy, czy w ogóle jest ruch lotniczy wokół kurwa Nowego Jorku. Muszę czytać. A to Zostaw. To? Czy ty? Coś tu robię? A, tu jest. No.
Once upon a time.
It's late. I gotta get her in the bath.
Chyba,
I
wiesz
don't
co?
love you and I don't miss you.
Ale jak on się kurwa wpierdolił w tym budynek? Kurwa, co to było?
Welcome to the game.
Ty, jeżeli to jest taka, że ty podejmujesz decyzję, to spoczko. Powiem szczerze, takie spoko.
I only ever been in love once. It was with a girl I met when I was 18, but I was too young and naive to handle it properly.
Ja już kurwa nie wiem, co się dzieje.
I guess I still carry the torch for it. Makes me
I co tam ciekawego?
A się rozjebał ten, helikopter w Nowym Jorku.
O.
I'm a loyal friend.
Pozdro.
Co podczas konferencji?
Nie no, konferencja to chuja ma z tym, tak, ale...
Oh, Sam, I got some questions for you about what we've just seen. I mean, talk to me about the mechanics. I mean, I saw, you know, subtitles up, highlighting, loading more video. What's going on?
So what we do in Telling Lies is we take all of the exploration we have in a normal game, so like walking around in a 3D.
Ja najbardziej tak czekam na ten, na Ubisofta. Zaraz z Kingsleyem odpalamy Uplaya i tylko czekamy. Będzie napisane, już można rejestrować, a my już będziemy zarejestrowani.
Oni będą teraz betę robić do tego, do... No! Do alfa, do Skull Mons. Bo Skull Mons też ma być na tym.
Gears 5 są te, już close beta będzie zapis. Kompletnie Ghost Recon Breakpoint już jest
tak.
jakby.
Jest, ale może coś więcej powiedzą, że zrobimy jakoś open czy coś, albo private. Bo na razie była alfa, do której się nie dostałem.
Okropieństwo. Moja córka pobrała ten program i dostała ataku padaczki. Nie polecam. Daje 5 gwiazdek, bo roba leżerowo popierdala i robi niewytłumaczalne, rozpierdalające mózg fikasy, fikoły i obroty, a córka wydrowieje?
Dobra, jestem.
Bo córka pobrała zainfekowanego program jakiś, kurwa. I dostała ataku padaczki. Nie polecam, ale daje 5 gwiazdek, bo roba leżerowo popierdala.
Ale o co chodzi?
O to prawa co nie chodzi.
Nie wiem, bo mnie nie było.
Went after it like all the other times we're actors. We just went after intention and then what do we want and we tried to make it as deep. You know, it's got a lot of scope. Yeah. But we wanted to make it as deep as possible, and Sam is one of the best movie and TV directors I've worked with.
No zaraz idę, kurwa, tylko że...
Now, of course, I do want to stress to any of you, if you have not played her story, it's quick to play through, it's absolutely brilliant. Please check it out in the meantime. But we're, of course, waiting to find out, when can we play Telling Lies?
Very soon, I promise. We'll have a date soon. Right now, you can go to Steam, you can wishlist on Steam, we all have Steam. And yeah, very soon. We'll be showing a little bit more during E3, and the game will be out, very soon.
Fantastic.
Desperate to get it out there.
Yeah. To play it. As soon as humanly possible. Yeah. Well, Sam Logan, thanks so much for joining me on stage. Once again, Telling Lies. Now, up on the balcony, Frankie's going to be talking to us about a game that my friends, year after year after year, keep telling me I have to play because of how much they've improved it. Frankie, what's going on with Warframe?
Well, one of my favorite
W najlepszym momencie dnia polska spółka CD Projekt Red była warta 22,42, prawie 22,5 miliarda złotych, nie?
Skoczyły im zyski o 6,6%.
No kurwa.
Behave yourselves, please, because mother's here. Now, Rebecca, what
A
are
się
you about to do?
dziwisz?
We're going to take a look at a
No nie
basic
dziwię
trailer that
się.
our team has put
Jak się
together.
pokazał Neo, to się nie dziw, kurwa.
For a look at what we've been calling Railjack, so it's about time to, you know, see what we've been doing. Yeah, let's take a look.
Warframe teraz będzie.
No i co oni tam mi pokażą na tym Warframe?
Warframe.
Resident Sleeper jak na razie. Na razie nic ciekawego. Resident Sleeper. Nie wiem nawet o co chodzi.
Szefie. Jebane. Idę grać.
Rebecca, it must be so exciting to know that the fans have finally seen it, and you're clearly going all in on the epic space combat. So tell me about the new stuff that players are going to be able to experience.
I wasn't shaking before we started talking, and now I am because it's real. Because you know, Empyrean is what we're calling codename Railjack. It's basically taking the Space Ninja part of Warframe, sending it back up to space, bringing players that squad gameplay they know, taking the enemies like the Corpus and the Grineer, giving them their own Railjack to essentially explore the solar system with and take down the bad guys.
I co chwilę kurwa z innym kolorem pokazują fuck epic na czacie lol.
And you can come watch it online on Twitch. We're going to be showing a lot more in our keynote for what Empyrean.
Jak taki gówniany rzeczy pokazuje. Jak na Epic Games przystało.
Resident.
30 minutes of our 10
O nie, film na gimnazjalny libr.
A gdzie jest kurwa Blizzard ten Activision Blizzard? Konferencja.
No, nie będzie raczej, chyba mi się tak zdaje. A co mieli być? Ej, a mieli być?
Set during the Big Bang. Yeah, it's actually blown my mind learning about this one. Buckle up, everyone, because
Też właśnie zdaje, że nie będzie ich.
with Genesis Noir.
Tej prowadzącej ten entuzjazm jest taki sztuczny, że po prostu szok, nie?
Tej mała Brytyjka?
No.
No a co ma powiedzieć? Siema nerdy. Dzisiaj wam zaprezentuję najchujowsze gry. Indiki jebane, żadnych nowych nowości, cieszcie się głupie chuj.
Które i tak kupicie, nie?
No których nie kupimy, no bo kto by taki normalny grał? To powiedz mi, zagrałbyś w taką grę, która jest teraz prezentowana, no bo ja nie
No bo ja nie... A co ty masz, kurwa, gadanie na guzik?
No na gadanie na guzik mam.
I gdzie ty jesteś troll? Ustaw sobie na aktywację głosem.
Genesis Noir, just beautiful style.
Ej, czujesz bazę, Robek, że w drugim gimnazjum miałem tylko dwa spóźnienia.
Miałeś dwa
spóźnienia w drugiej klasie gimnazjum, bo sobie patrzę archiwum i ogólnie w drugiej klasie gimnazjum miałem tylko dwa spóźnienia w całym roku.
Czyli co, miałeś w zeszłym roku, byłeś w gimnazjum?
Nie, ja jestem pierwszej technikum, co ty. Zaraz ci powiem, ile ja teraz mam w tym.
Ile ty masz, kurwa, 16 lat? 17?
17.
No kurwa, to ty młoda dupa jesteś. Jestem o pół, kurwa, 17 lat starszy od ciebie, lol.
No. Czekaj, frekwencja. A, nie mogę tutaj zobaczyć, a ciekawe. Albo w sumie. A co myślałeś, że ile ma?
Nie wiem, z 24. Jeszcze kurwa 18 nie masz. O.
No.
Ty bardzo się zagrasz? No, jest od 18 plus.
Aha, nie ma spóźnień. Ale kurwa.
Kurwa, co za gnioty pokazują? Jesus fucking Christ.
To jest Resident Sleeper totalnie, to jest taki nudny. Tylko szczerze, przy tym można zasnąć. Jak byłbyś bardzo zmęczony, to by ci to jeszcze dobiło. O, ale ekscytujący gameplay, strzelił w dzwon. O nie, Mojżesz go goni. Ze skrzypcami.
El Hijo, once again, is the title of the trailer.
Hide Simulator to jest. Chowanego.
Our final guest tonight.
El
Please
Hijo.
join me in welcoming from Larian Studios CEO Sven
Hijo.
Vinken, and from Dungeons and Dragons at Wizards of the Coast, the creator
Hajs
of
nie ma,
Dungeons
El
and Dragons,
Hijo.
Mike Merles, to talk about Baldur's Gate 3.
El Hijo.
No, coś takiego w stylu.
Now, this was only just recently announced. How did this partnership come about?
We went to see Wizards of the Coast at the end of Divinity Origins.
Baldur's Gate
Aż Rafał chyba przestał streamować.
I tried to convince them back then that they should give the Baldur's Gate 3 licenses.
A nie, streamuje.
And but we had a long chat about what the vision would be for the game. And then we kept on bumping into each other. And then suddenly...
O, Baldur's Gate, jedyne co dobre będzie.
From Nathan Stewart, who's the...
Zanim wyruszysz drogę, musisz zebrać...
You need to come to Seattle right away. We're gonna have dinner in a very shady restaurant. And he had this big stack of paper with him, and on it was Baldur's Gate 3, and in it was pretty much everything that we talked about. And he says, I'm gonna present this to my board, do you still want to do it? Yeah, of course I still want to do it. And then a couple of weeks later, we started negotiating, and here we are.
I mean, what does the Baldur's Gate franchise mean to you, Mike?
Oh, to me, it's the crown jewel of D&D computer games, right? I mean, for me personally, Baldur's Gate, the original one, was finally I had the chance to actually play a D&D campaign rather than having to run them for all my friends. So it means so much to us. Baldur's Gate, it's, you know, such fantastic storytelling, and it's so exciting to see it come to not only a new generation of gamers, but for the gamers who remember the 20 years it's been since the original, the first two in the series. So it's incredibly exciting. And for us, it really is, it's such an important part of the D&D mythos as a whole.
And we got a chance to see the trailer. Talk to me about some of the story elements, the world elements. What are things we're going to see in Baldur's Gate 3?
Well, we're only talking about what's in the trailer right now, but obviously you're going to go to the city, because we start with the city. You start outside of the city, actually. There's going to be mind flayers. They're very nasty. You are seeing in the trailer the process of ceramorphosis, as we call it. It's accelerated, so that's not normal.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a lot of iconic creatures, iconic characters, iconic places, and as far as you go.
I'm curious about some of the gameplay elements, because obviously, you know, there's just been a big resurgence of Dungeons and Dragons, tons of broadcasts on Twitch. I mean, how do you translate some of the insane things that players want to do into what has to be a structured computer game?
Orlen przyjmuje Lotos, beka.
Co?
Orlen przyjmuje Lotosa.
5th edition. And so we ported as much as we could to the video game. We looked at what works really well. We looked at the things that didn't work that well within the video game. And this was
wymienka powoli, coś tak czuję. Dlatego jest wykupowany przez Orlen, beka.
So we started modifying those things, and then we had to add things on top of it, because if you play tabletop, you have a game master, and you say, well, I want to do this. And then the game
I want to
master...
start a fight with a pigeon. He's like, okay, roll for dexterity.
Exactly, that's it. So we had to add systems to make that
Ale
possible.
pojebana akcja.
But we've gone very, very far.
Yeah, I mean, can you give an example of like a crazy moment that a player might do that you could actually play out in the game?
Well, I could, let's say that we get into a fight because you ask a nasty question, I don't want to answer it. And I take the chair over there, I put it on fire, smash it on your head.
That's just an example, it's fine, we're just talking.
These are things that we have to put systems into the game for to do it, which are not necessarily going to be described inside the book.
Interesting. And I mean, like, Mike, in terms of your role, Speaking to Larian Studios, you have tons of data of all the sorts of things that players do. What's the sort of information that you
Wish the best RPG in the last 10 years. Będzie Wiedźmin trójka, patrz.
You know, we think of Dungeons and Dragons, the universe of D&D.
Wskoczy Wiedźmin trójka.
It's like a toy box for dungeon masters and players
Patrz,
to go
patrz,
into
patrz, patrz,
and build their
Wiedźmin
own
3 i chuj. Dziękuję, pozdrawiam.
A lot of it was just opening up that toy box and sharing it. And giving that kind of guidance, you know, like I remember one of our first meetings, we just laid out a map of Baldur's Gate.
Wiedźmin trójka wygrywa na razie.
Like, what kind of story do you want to tell? Where do we want to go? What are the cool locations we always wanted to put in a game like this? And then for in terms of the system support, you know,
Który jest najlepszy RPG z ostatnich 10 lat? I Wiedźmin 3 wygrywał, no kurwa, definitywnie.
You really feel like you're taking on that role that you love so much from the tabletop. It's really coming to life in an authentic way in Baldur's Gate 3.
And we're going to talk in a moment about, you know, Baldur's Gate 3 release dates and whatnot. But we have a second game that we want to talk about on a new technology known as pencil and paper. I understand that there is a tabletop prequel coming for Baldur's Gate.
Exactly. So in Baldur's Gate, we think there's one saga, all the different games coming together to tell one grand story of this city. So on September 17th, we're releasing our next tabletop campaign, Baldur's Gate: Descent into Avernus, and it is the next chapter in the Baldur's Gate saga, and it's a prequel to Baldur's Gate 3. So if you haven't played a Baldur's Gate game since Baldur's Gate 1 or 2, this is your chance to check out on the history. It's been about 100 years since the events of Baldur's Gate 2.
Yeah.
So this will give you a chance to check in on the city, to see what's going on, its current state, who the movers and shakers are. We also feature a complete levels 1 to 13 campaign that takes you from the mean streets of Baldur's Gate to the depths of hell itself. And sort of pose to the players a question: do you want to redeem Baldur's Gate or send it to damnation? So we're putting that right in players' hands to make that choice.
Well, I have to ask Sven, it's a question on a lot of people's minds. What can you talk to us about expected release time frames?
So people have been waiting
To
for
się
this for a long time.
ten helikopter wbił się w ten budynek.
Mówiłem ci, że
This is the game that we want to play, so we want to make sure it's really, really good. And then when that's the case, then we'll release it.
Well, I know a lot of people have been waiting a long
ewakuacja
time.
właśnie.
I speak for a lot of people here when I say, take your time. If the Divinity Original Sin games are any indication of the quality, it's going to be fantastic and worth the wait. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining me on stage.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ben and Mike talking about Baldur's Gate 3. Goodbye. Goodbye, guys. Why are they leaving? Well, it's because the PC gaming show has officially concluded. Let's bring up on the stage the fantastic Frankie Ward. Come here, Frankie.
Koniec,
Well, thank you so much, Sean. Hasn't this audience been absolutely fantastic today?
Guys, thank you so much for coming out to the 5th annual PC Gaming Show. We want to give an enormous thanks to all of you who tuned in live. We want to thank all of you who personally showed up this morning, and of course the sponsors who helped make this possible.
Zamknij mordę, kurde, trollu.
Paradox,
Co my
Interactive,
kurwa gniety
Hovercast, Perfect World,
pokazujecie?
Rebellion, Tripwire, and Samsung. As you know, PC gaming is a platform. It's not a publisher or
On co
developer,
roku
so these
pokaże.
sponsors are essential for letting us put
dziękuję
on this show every year. Thank you so much. And I gotta ask Frank, any titles you're excited about?
Well, I do love a baby elephant, so definitely Planet Zoo awkwardly, then I also want to eat things. Maybe elephants included, so man-eater, of course.
I'm personally looking forward to Songs of Conquest, and as you heard, there's games coming out all
Xiaomi.
2019 and into 2020. We hope you all have a fantastic E3. It officially begins tomorrow.
Xiaomi jest
Big
dla
shout out to the
bogatych
press
biedaków,
conferences.
tam
Hello
są
again, Drop
baby.
Frames. Good to see you 2 years in a row. We hope you all have a fantastic time at E3 and go play some games and make some friends. See you next year. Bye, bye, bye.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
No ale tak glumy. Nie pokazaliście całego terrarii dzbany. Bo wam się coś zbugowało. I jełopy.
No ale
Co jest?
tak tej gnioty, Boże.
A, szerzemy miłość w grach, kurwa.
Tym, wiedzieliście, że będą dwa rodzaje jakby tej nowej konsoli?
Jakiej?
No, Xboxa.
A jak wygląda?
Pod względem wyglądu i pod względem wybeku.
Nie pokazane nigdzie nie był. Nigdzie nie pokazany był wygląd.
Ale są ogólnie
No nie wiem, widziałem. Kolejny raz Dying Lighta 2 pokazuje.
I to jest potwierdzone, że będzie tam. Będą dwie wersje.
Jedna dla biedaków i dla bogatych, tak?
Wiesz co, to jest jakby porównać SKX-a. Co nie?
Co nie, co tak.
Co tak?
Ten Dying Light się fajnie zapowiada.
No.
Kurwa, muszę mu wymienić kurwa.
Ja będę chciał sobie w niego zagrać.
A ogólnie, bo jest chyba raz też pytałem właśnie, czy kojarzycie sytuację sprzed paru dni, że typ wspinał się po Mariocie?
Po czym?
No, po tym hotelu, kurwa, ekskluzywnym, w którym Trump mieszkał, kiedy był w Polsce. No to się wspinał taki typo, co nie? No to udostępnił filmik z tego, jak się wspinał. Z jego perspektywy.
A to co to za brodziarz? A, będą gadać teraz aż do Ubisoftu o Dying Light. No nieźle.
Wiesz co, oni do 21 mają się. Bo kolejna chodzi.
9 minut do Ubisoftu.
Ale Ubisoft też będzie Resident Sleeper.
Nie,
Ghost Recon tylko pokażą i może Watch Dogs 3, jeśli... Są dwa rodzaje gier, które będą mogli nowe zapowiedzieć, to Watch Dogs 3 lub Splinter Cell.
Nowy Splinter Cell i ten...
Albo Watch Dogs 3.
Breakpoint to na pewno pokażą jakiś gameplay.
Tak.
Na pewno aktualizacje nowego, kurwa, nowych operatorów, kolejne sezony do Rainbow Six Siege.
No tak. To wszystko. To raczej wszystko, bo oni nie mają co pokazać. Albo mogą Beyond God Civil, to się nazywa? Też mogą pokazać, przecież oni to robią. No przecież powstaje przez Ubisoft.
Na pewno będzie pokazane.
Kiedy ktoś karnego posta temu Bartkowi wpisuje.
Widziałem, dobra, ja zdumam.
I każdy po prostu zaczyna komentować to, no.
Co?
No właśnie, ostatnio byliśmy 1,5 godziny.
To z Rafałem moment wróciliśmy. Jak byliśmy, czy jak mu tam kurwa ma, ja nie wiem. Jo.
A to kurwa, to ja jako pilnowacz, to kurwa tym bardziej nie jadę. Nie jaram mnie pilnowanie.
Czego? Pilnowanie.
A, rzeczy. Siema, co tam u was w porządku, stary? Szkoda, że dopiero teraz napisałeś. Nie, stary.
Boisz się?
Przyszedł na najlepszą część, także...
No.
Co?
Najlepsza część tej PC Gaming Show to jest najlepsza część, to jest w tej chwili właśnie.
Aha, streaming live on the Twitch.
Sam jesteś jak ten Witch, kurwa.
Oj, dobra, to nie o to chodzi, no. Dobra.
No wiem, że nie o to chodzi, bo chodzi o ten trawę, co nie chodzi, co na dzień dzień odjeżdża ci łeb.
To fajnie się bawisz.
Oho, już na Steamie jest na ten.
Jo.
Już teraz. Frostpunk 2007.
Limit Edition już jest.
First phase right here, we want to kind of guide.
Ubisoft też się już bawi? Kurwa!
No puszczają przed tym. Przed Ubisoftem.
Jo, godzina... To teraz nie wiem, co mam oglądać. Czy to... Coming coś?
Powiedz sobie napis swojego filmu, oni tam mają od 21 coś.
No. Załączysz się dopiero jak będą odliczać.
Pewnie kolejny Resident Sleeper, ale dobra.
Ja bym chciał Rezydenta Evila trójkę zobaczyć, bo dwójkę widziałem, kurwa, jak Tivur grał, to miałem taki sentyment. Ja grałem, jak on dopiero, ja grałem w Rezydenta dwójkę, jak kurwa ten. Jak kurwa Tivur robił w Pampersy jeszcze. No bo z 90.
No tu 4 minuty zostało.
Czy 96 roku.
Pamiętacie jak jak wyszedł, no, John Wick, no, ten aktor, no jakby, no.
No, Keanu Reeves, no.
No to co?
I ktoś powiedział...
Tylko ostrożnie tam.
Breathtaking.
No, ten...
No, zabierający dech.
No, że zabierasz... Odbierasz dech.
To ten człowiek dostanie darmową kolekcjonerkę.
Na pewno tak.
Cyberpunka.
Let it go, make my body go. Make our bodies high.